Hey, this is Mike, Seder 42 Vinyl. I'm going to do a video today of all of the 2025 releases that I purchased so far this year. So this is all new releases that came out this year from either new bands or bands that I've already been into. And this is their new albums or new releases. Like, subscribe, comment on the video if you can. That might get more people to watch it. I think that's how the algorithm works. So I'm just going to show stuff that I bought that was released in 2025. You know, this album in particular, this first one is Night Flight Orchestra, and this is Give Us the Moon. This is the 7th album from Night Flight Orchestra. This is a really good band from members of Soilwork that are doing kind of this AOR project, like 80s inspired hard rock music, very melodic, sometimes keyboards, you know, just kind of like that 80s sound. And I got this as a pre-order earlier in the year. It was released in January. Really good band, really fun. I have all but one of their albums on vinyl, so I'm only missing one, which I'm still trying to get. So once I get that, I'll have everything on vinyl. Highly recommended if you're into 80s AOR type stuff, hard rock, very melodic, really good stuff. I picked up the new Dream Theater. Not much to say here. Obviously, Dream Theater, really good band, progressive metal band from the 90s, and they're still putting stuff out today. Portnoy is back on drums on here, Mike Portnoy. So basically the band is back together, like one of the more of the earlier phase of the lineup. Yeah, really good stuff here. Pretty typical from Dream Theater. They're not breaking any really new ground here, I don't think, but it's a solid album from them. Another album I picked up is Avantasia. These guys are doing a little bit different thing here. This is a much shorter album than they normally have put out. It's just a single album, 50 minutes long. You know, it's not these 10, 15, 20-minute epic songs that they would sometimes do on their older stuff. So this is a much more quicker album to get through. Really good radio-friendly stuff on here. Really good, like, melodic, you know, power metal. You know, there's songs that range on here from 3 to 4 minutes long, which is unusual for, you know, Avantasia if you're familiar with their older stuff. So this is a really good album. If you're new to Avantasia, this might be a good way to get into them because it's a really quick album to listen to. So this is kind of an interesting album from them and maybe a good jumping off point. A lot of great singers on this one as well. Bob Catley is on here, Tommy Karavec from Camelot, Roy Khan from ex-Camelot, Michael Kiske, of course, he's always on there, and Jeff Tate doing some singing on here as well.
Days
Crazy Licks put out a new album this year. This is a glam metal band that is doing, you know, kind of taking the 80s style of 80s glam or 80s hair metal and bringing it into the 2025. This is their 8th album, so these guys have been doing it for a while. Solid stuff here again. They're not really breaking new ground here. I wouldn't say this is their best album either, but it's a solid release. This is a album from the band called Saber. This is from the Trevor Church, you know, group of bands that he's a part of. So if you're a fan of Haunt and you like a lot of that traditional heavy metal stuff that is coming out more recent, Saber is going to be right in there, you know. So new wave of traditional heavy metal is kind of what this is kind of categorized as. But solid stuff here. 8 quick songs, straight up heavy metal music. That's fun to listen to. Now, this album came out earlier in November of 24, but the vinyl I just got. Transcending Obscurity takes a long time to release the vinyls for their albums or the bands that they release albums with, and Vileburn is one of the better discordant death metal bands that they put albums out with. I don't buy a lot of death metal nowadays, so when I come across a band that I like, I kind of try to keep buying their albums. If they, you know, I'll scrub through the stuff on Bandcamp, and this album was really solid. I really liked their previous effort. Their previous album was really, really good. One of the better straight up death metal albums that came out. But this vinyl just came out in March, so I'm putting this as a 2025 release for me. Discordant death metal in the vein of like Ulcerate, bands like that, you know. So if you like bands like Ulcerate, I'd check these guys out. I picked up the Lady Gaga album. This album came out in many different covers and colors. I checked out all the different ones that were, you know, coming out, like Target, Walmart, you know, all that different stuff, and independent record store releases. And my aesthetic, I do like white vinyl. I like the way it looks, and I like this particular album cover. So this was the Amazon release. Very good album. If you like Lady Gaga, you like pop music, I really think that this is maybe like her third or fourth best album out of all her stuff. So really, really good stuff here from her. Excellent album. Me and my wife actually watched on YouTube the Coachella concert that she put on. They were streaming that live on YouTube and you could watch it. It was really cool. Great live show. Really good stuff.
I talk in circles 'cause my brain it aches. You say I love you, I disintegrate. I become a notorious being. Find my crown, she's asleep on the ceiling now. Can't get me down. You love to hate me. I'm the perfect celebrity. Rip off my face on this photograph. You make me money, I'll make you laugh. Show me you're pretty, I'll show you mine. You love to hate me. I'm the perfect celebrity.
All right, this is the Coheed and Cambria's new release. This is part 3 of their Vaxxus trilogy, a set of albums, and this is the final release of that. I only started getting into this band in this era of the band, and I kind of got into it for my wife. You know, she had watched a review or something or heard something. She was interested in the album, and I'm like, so when my wife gets interested in any heavy music at all, I like, oh, cool, you know, I kind of encourage that. So I bought the first album in this trilogy, and it was my first Coheed and Cambria album, actually, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I'm not like a super big fan of these guys, so this is kind of like my initial foray into their stuff, and I've liked all 3 albums so far. So yeah, I would recommend the Vaxxus trilogy. You know, I can't really compare it or say if it's better or worse than any of their older stuff, you know, before this. And I know people will probably say, oh, this is the shittiest stuff, you know, or whatever. I don't care. But I like these albums, these 3 albums. I thought they're really good. So yeah, I would recommend them. All right, this came out in March as well. I picked up the new Cradle of Filth. I think this is one of their best albums that they put out. The last album that I really liked from them was Damnation in a Day. So, you know, all the other stuff that they put out since then has kind of just been very samey to me. But for some reason, you know, I heard a single off this album and I watched a video. Well, I watched all the videos of the singles and I don't know, they just caught my attention. I was like, you know, this sounds really good. And I was kind of impressed with the new stuff. So good stuff from Cradle of Filth. I think this is, like I said, one of their better albums in a long time.
I break the gates of chaos beneath my heels. My shadows dance straight, daylights weaken. As above and so below, the haunting angels sing. The love we kindled for the clouds, the floating death of everything.
picked up the Seven Sisters album. This is part 2 of Shadow of a Fallen Star. I got to see these guys live twice a couple years ago when they opened for Haunt on a tour where they hit North Carolina and Detroit, Michigan. And it just so happened that I was able to see them live here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then we planned our trip to Michigan at a couple weeks after that show, and visited a friend up there, Roger, whom I'm doing other videos with, Amplified Assignments. Check that out. We went to the show up there, up north. I was able to get part 1 of this album on vinyl from the band at the show because that show was here earlier than the Detroit show, but they sold out of their vinyl. And I actually had the pressing signed, so that's kind of cool. This album, another great release by them. It's in the same sound and vein as the Fallen Star Part 1. So if you liked Part 1, you're going to like Part 2, I think. They're both really good.
Tear down the walls as you run, straight through the heart of the sun. I see the fear in your eyes, a loaded gun. Far from the maelstrom inside, over the edge of your mind. Breaking free, embracing me, flame in the darkness, part of the sun.
All right, I picked up the new Ghost. This just came out recently here in April. I got the indie record store release, the Violet version. I really am enjoying this album. Very poppy stuff from them. Very, just like the last album. A lot of influences from 80s FM rock. I call it FM rock. Like bands like Journey, stuff like that. The actual chorus for Peacefield is a total, rip from Separate Ways from Journey. If you listen to this and then you go back to Separate Ways, you're going to be like, whoa, that's really close. But really good stuff here. It's it's very catchy, very poppy metal. If you like the last album or even the last couple albums, I think you're going to dig this one too.
It's all getting clearer, the darkness that sees your love bright as the starlight. Oh child, still we can see a light move over the peace field. Oh child, stay close to me.
I got the new Blonde Shell record. Her first album was one of my favorite albums of 2023. I loved her first album. It was so good. I still listen to that album and love it. I've listened to this album a couple times and it's really growing on me. It's not instantaneous like the last album was. I think this one's a little bit of a grower.
I asked him why he had these feelings. He said your tits and ass don't really hurt. And I think he really meant it. And now I'm wondering if I should let him. Let him in, why don't the good ones love me? Watching it fall, watching it go right in front of me. Let him in, why don't the good ones love me? Watching it fall, watching it go right in front of me.
And the last album is from Enterprise Earth. This is an EP from them. 24 minutes of just slamming deathcore. Really good stuff. There's some melodic stuff in here, so the songs are really catchy. The riffs are good. There's just some really powerful breakdowns that are just insane, and I really like this album. I'm kind of a fan of deathcore. I'm a fan of Ingested, so looking for stuff like that. If you're looking for a band like Ingested, and you just want 24 minutes of it, you can't stand like the 50, 60 minute albums. 24 minutes, I think there's like 5 songs on here. I think this is a great album. I kind of like that it's really short too.
I hear the
All right, well, that's everything that I've bought so far this year. That's a new release. I'm not buying as much vinyl as I was before. At least I don't feel like I am. So I'm kind of sticking to buying new releases and, the reissues that are coming out. I might do a video with the reissues that I bought this year too. So anyway, that's everything that I bought. That's a 2025 album. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me something that, I should have bought or maybe I should check out, and I definitely will. Always looking for new stuff to listen to. Cool, thanks, bye.